Hello, everyone, and welcome to something impromptu. This was certainly not planned. Tonight I was playing Routine, and we were coming back to the game for the first time in a long time. I had not played Routine in a bit. In fact, hold on one second, because I just want to turn off the surround sound and the problem. I want to make sure you guys don't have any audio issues because I was playing Routine. I have surround sound on. I had not played Routine in 10 days, and so tonight I came back to the game to play it, and I kind of felt like I was going to have issues playing it. Reason being, I had not played the game in so long. I was like, oh, I'm probably going to have some issues remembering how to play the game or whatever. And in truth, I actually got past that part that I thought I was going to have problems with, but then immediately encountered a puzzle, and the puzzle basically makes you go around getting numbers off of hidden symbols, which I did. Except then the puzzle says enter left to right, but it's a flippable piece of paper. So when you say left to right, do you mean left to right on one side of the paper, on the numbers on the other side of the paper, corresponding to which numbers? We tried every combination. We tried like 16 different combinations. None of them work. And the problem is people are saying the puzzle is randomized. Therefore, no one can look up the actual solution on the internet so we can play and progress. So we actually got soft-locked by a poorly designed puzzle. And I'm not even kidding, we were on it for over 30 minutes. And people were like, yeah, we're going to lose attendance. People are going to hate the stream because they designed the puzzle so poorly. So I actually thought that we were going to get stuck because I hadn't played the game in so long, I was going to get lost. No, it's just an insanely bad puzzle ruined the playthrough, which I wasn't actually expecting. So I apologize to those who like Routine. Unless they fix that game and make the puzzle solvable to a normal person, you know, and this is coming from someone who played over 60 hours of Blueprints. Some puzzles were insanely cryptic. Some I solved myself. Some I was easily able to figure out with the help of others on the internet. But instead, this game made it so ridiculously impossible and randomized. It's just, you can't even play it. So the game Routine is made by a small indie team. The game was stuck in development hell for over a decade. So it is what it is. It sucks that we can't see the end because I actually like the lore, but I guess we'll never know. And what's funny is, you know, we're all talking about it. And Sweet Kentucky Waterfall on YouTube goes, if it makes you feel any better, I don't think many people even know about the game to begin with anyway. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Like, I felt like maybe I was able to give it a little bit of exposure and, you know, show a hidden gem to my audience. But to be honest, after seeing that puzzle, I don't think that's very good. I actually think that's one of the worst puzzles I've seen in a game. So it's kind of disappointing that we ran into that, and that the playthrough is kind of over now because of that. So anyway, tonight, for the next hour or so, we're just going to hang out. We're going to do a chill with Phil. We're going to see what's on everyone's mind, and we're just going to interact and chat. So tag me in either chat, okay? I'll actually type in the kick chat. I'm sorry that this happened, but hey, please hang out. Please engage. Please support the stream. Let's have some fun for the next hour or so that it's not a wasted night blowing on a game that was poorly designed. Okay? Cool. We don't have time to do Arc Drop Scars. We're not going to start doing other games right now with only an hour left. Sorry. If you wanted to see me play another game, you're in the wrong place, and you're welcome to leave and come back tomorrow when I'm playing games all day long. I'm not going to quit out either on Expedition 33 or Mega Bonk, so come back tomorrow then. Lord Humongous, no, I'm not doing any workout streams, as I've explained many times. That's just weird content for people who are obsessive over me and want to delve into my personal life. My workouts are my own private thing. They're not meant to be public knowledge or shared, so no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I think Mega Bonk is fun to play and probably fun to watch people play too. I think you're right. Turn up the music. If I turn up the music any higher, it might be too loud and drown out my voice, and I don't want to do that, obviously. People seem to like the music, though, recently. I've gotten way more positive feedback about the background music when I'm chilling with you guys than I have negative. There are some people who are just negative about everything and are like, oh, I just can't stand change, and there's music now, and I don't like it. It's generic or whatever. What's hilarious is these are the same people who always complained that they wanted background music in the past, and now I add it, and now it's no good. Because, again, these are the people, they're not here to actually give constructive criticism. They're just here to always say no matter what I'm doing is wrong. So I just write them off and don't really care. In general, it seems like people like the music, so. Oh, so But here's something that we can address immediately. Maybe you guys would have some better ideas. So earlier today on the podcast, we talked about what should the next episode of DSP Tries It be. And the best thing we could come up with was Panera Bread, because I hadn't had Panera Bread in a very long time. And it seems like they have some new sandwiches and things since the last time I was there many years ago. But when I went there many years ago, they were terrible. The food was legit bad and overpriced. So outside of Panera Bread, do you guys have any other recommendations? Like, are you aware of any places that may be doing new stuff, like a new offering, a new item to try, a new menu, etc.? Does anyone know of anything going on right now? If not, we're going to go with Panera Bread for DSP Tries It, and that's going to actually be on Monday, okay? Have I had jalapeno bread or olive bread? I've had jalapeno cornbread, like jalapenos in a sweet cornbread. I haven't. I just had regular bread with jalapenos baked into it. No, and I don't think I've ever had olive bread, like olives in bread. I don't think so. Greek or Venezuelan? Greek, I think we done. Actually, I think we did both Greek and Venezuelan this year, actually. Hold on. We did Venezuelan food at the beginning of this year. And I remember what it was a platter that had like those, I think it had like fried plantains and things like that. It did okay, but we did that, and that's the best one near me. Here was empanada, chicken bowl, and tequeños. Yeah, it was good food, but that was like, that's it. Like, there's only one Venezuelan place really in my area. So if I went back, it would just be more of the same kind of food. As for Greek food, I swear we did that this year. Okay, we actually did that a little over a year ago. It was souvlaki, hummus, salad, and a hero. So it was 4 items together. Yeah. So we had done that as well. And again, that was actually like the best place in my area. Yeah, I could recognize it. I remember the restaurant. And that's the best one. So outside of that, again, I don't really know what else I would do, because we've already done the best Mediterranean in the area, and we've already done the best Venezuelan in my area. Yeah. Brazilian, hold on. I don't think we have Brazilian in my area. Let me think about this. Yeah, because I don't think there is any. I'm checking here just to see if I ever did. I don't think we ever did. And let's see here. Nope. The only Brazilian food is it's around 10 miles away, and it's a steakhouse. That's it. The only other thing that pops up is Venezuelan again. So, sadly, no Brazilian. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to order food from a steakhouse delivery ever. You would never want to order expensive steakhouse food and then get it. You paid insane amounts of money, and it's terrible because it got delivered, especially it's 10 miles away. Can you imagine a steak sitting in a car in a to-go package for like an hour from a steakhouse where you paid insane amounts of money? No. Isn't 10 miles a 20-minute drive? Yes, if it's an empty road with absolutely no traffic whatsoever and it's a straight shot and you're driving like 60 miles per hour. Of course, some people will say, wait, no, 60. No, you could drive like 40 and pull that off, or whatever. No, 10 miles is a long drive for delivery. 10 miles, in fact, they charge extra. When you get delivery from a certain distance, they actually say, since it's outside of the range of what is safe, they actually make you confirm that, and then they charge you extra for the delivery too. So you would never want to do that with something that's fragile food like steak, where it could even easily overcook inside of the package and stuff like that because of the heat and the steam. You would never want that. What's up with chat? Euthanasia? I don't know. Euthanasia. Or Euthanasia. That's their name. I don't know what's wrong with chat. No, Sweet Kentucky Waterfall says I ordered food. They charge normal tax, county tax, and special tax. Now what it is, so first, there's the actual price the restaurant is charging. Then there's a surcharge that the restaurant charges per item on top. So even though the item might say it's actually $15, it might actually only cost $12, but they're charging you $3 extra. It's like their fee, their upcharge for you to order through the app. That's how they make their money. And then there are local taxes. There actually are some kind of fees. Like sometimes there's a delivery fee. If you become a member of one of their subscription services, they'll usually waive the delivery fee, but there's still a delivery fee on top. And then on top of that, they have a cart charge. You're like, oh, due to cart size and this and that, we may charge you more. What they actually have are these hidden criteria that you don't see. So, for example, let's say you're ordering from a restaurant and you order 5 or 6 sandwiches from the restaurant. They'll just tack an extra $7 on your order. Why? Because they figure you're already spending so much you don't care. I'm not kidding. They actually do that. All the services do that. They just tack on extra money, and you don't actually, it's not paying for anything. It just gives the business, the app, more money for nothing. So there's another thing that they do. If they do sales, like they'll say, oh, so buy one, get one free. Okay? So you'll go to do the buy one, get one free, and because you're getting an item free, well, the app still wants its money for that free item. So they add a new charge onto the total that you don't know about, and it just increases the fee total. So, for example, we got 2 breakfasts from IHOP yesterday, okay? One breakfast was supposed to be like $20-something, and another was supposed to be 20-something, but one of them was free. If you pay for both of them outright, without the buy one, get one free, the fees on the order was $7. If you did buy one, get one free, the fees were increased to $15. So they want to make the money on the free item, so they just take their profit out of what they would have charged if you paid for it, and they just slap it onto their fees. So they make the money no matter what. That's how they are. You know, that's just how these companies are. It is what it is. You got to, if you want delivery, you have to accept this and pay it, or go get it yourself. What I really never understood is that all of these delivery apps have an option to order through the app, but then go pick it up yourself. What? If I'm going to order, I'll just call the restaurant and order myself and go pick it up. That way you're not a middleman at all. I don't have to involve myself with your app. Why am I going to pay you anything when you literally are providing no service? Like, the whole idea is you're delivering the food to my door, and that's why I'm paying you the money to use the service. Why would I pay you if I'm going to go pick it up myself anyway? Now, that really baffles me. Then again, maybe you guys can explain something to me about a business. I've talked about it before on stream, and I still don't understand it. You ever heard of Papa Murphy's? So, Papa Murphy's is a pizza chain in the United States. I don't know if they're outside of the United States, but here's the weird thing about Papa Murphy's. They don't cook any food. I'm serious. You go to Papa Murphy's and you say, I like a pepperoni pizza. And they say, here you go. And you pay for it and you get it. You put it in your car. You go home. You open it. It's raw. They didn't cook it. You're expected to bake the pizza in your own oven. So what did you pay for? Don't you go to a restaurant to provide to purchase cooked food that's ready to eat? Isn't that the idea of going to the restaurant? Or else you would just make the food at home yourself. So why are you going to the restaurant, picking up the food, going home to bake it yourself? I'm lost. What, does anyone understand this business model and why it exists and why it's successful? What do you guys, does anyone here eat at Papa Murphy's and understand this business model? Because I certainly don't. It's cheap rip-off pizza. This person says their stuffed pizza is great. How? You have to cook it yourself. Is it... Okay, I have to ask, because for those who've had it, because apparently some people here have had it, okay? Is the quality of the pizza good? Is it fresh dough? Is it fresh in toppings and ingredients? Is it good quality sauce? You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have a pizza oven, you're not going to get the flavor of a real pizza. Like, depending on the type of oven, if it's a wood fire oven, if it's a gas oven, if it's a brick oven, each one has a unique style when they make the pizza that make it taste different. Sometimes you'll get a char, sometimes you'll get, you know what I'm saying? You'll get the certain bubbling of the crust, the thinness of the crust. If you're just tossing it in your own oven, you get none of that. So why are you buying it from Papa Murphy's if you're just going to cook it in your own oven and you're not getting the advantage of a restaurant cooked pizza? I'm so confused. They make the pizzas fresh. They are technically better than a store-bought frozen pizza that has been sitting for days, weeks. So the premise is they make the dough fresh. All the ingredients are chopped and made fresh. Do they make their own sauce? Is it like actually made in-house, simmered in-house? And they make the pizza, and then they just give it to you, and you go home and you're baking the fresh ingredient pizza in your oven at home? That's the premise? Well, some people are saying there's a legal loophole where you can pay for the pizza with EBT, and I'll explain what that is in a second, because it's uncooked and it's not considered a finished meal. Here's the thing, okay? Again, what I don't understand is, why aren't you just getting it from a pizza restaurant that cooks it? What is the advantage if you could go to Papa Murphy's, or you can go to the pizza restaurant down the street that cooks the pizza, which also is using fresh ingredients? Why are you ever going to Papa Murphy's? That's what I don't understand. I'm not saying Domino's and Papa Murphy's. I'm saying if there's a real pizzeria right there and a Papa Murphy's right there, why would you ever enter Papa Murphy's and have to go cook it yourself? Why wouldn't you just go to the real pizzeria? Cheaper? Really? Really Can't Willie says it's cheaper. Because you can't buy the cooked pizza with Snap. I'll explain again what EBT and Snap is in a second, because many of you may be outside the U.S. and not know what that is. Is that really it? So, EBT, SNAP, these are social welfare programs in the United States. Essentially, if you don't make enough money to be considered like self-supportive, you can apply for government assistance programs, and those programs will give you a certain allowance of money that you can use to purchase food. And it's not your money. You're just given it by our government. If you're a citizen here, you just receive the money. Okay? What they do is you have to verify your income, how much you make, and if you're under a certain threshold, they give you a EBT card or a SNAP thing, and then you just go and pay for stuff with it. You go to the grocery store and literally check out a giant cart of food and just give that, and you're not paying for it. That's not your money. You're just giving it, and then you buy them with that. So what people are saying is it's a way to get pizza from a restaurant with that SNAP or EBT government assistance funds, because you wouldn't be able to go to a real restaurant, like a real pizzeria, and buy the pizza with it. I have a hard time believing an entire business, an entire franchise, because Papa Murphy's is all over the United States, that their entire business model is based around government assistance programs. I'm sorry, it sounds like maybe there are some times when that's the case, but I have a really hard time believing that. It sounds to me like this is a really negative political spin. Seriously, it sounds pretty stupid to me, honestly. No, I get that, but Dunsfelter says, so they have basically very low overhead because they don't have ovens and stuff. See, that I can understand, but again, this blows my mind. Like, I can't imagine there's enough of a customer base out there that are like, I want pizza, but I don't want anyone to cook it for me because I want to save a couple dollars. So instead of going to the pizzeria right here that makes the pizza and I bring it home and just eat it, I'm going to buy a pizza, still pay good money for it. Maybe it's a tiny bit cheaper, but then I'm going to bring it home and cook it myself using my own gas, my own electricity, my own oven. Like, that just blows my mind. Yeah, I heard about all the fraud with our EBT programs. I've heard about it, yes. Okay. Let's see here. I received a $20 contribution, and this person says this is a lengthy question. I'll do my best, so hold on. Thanks for 20 bucks. And guys, if you were here chilling tonight, I apologize, obviously, that this was not the original stream that we had planned. We wanted to finish Routine, and Routine literally has such a poorly designed puzzle that no one on the stream could figure it out, including me. Like, everyone was trying to solve it, hundreds of people, and no one could figure it out. It just doesn't work. So it is what it is. We're just going to say, screw this and not do it anymore. So anyway, we're just chilling tonight. So if you're here to relax and enjoy, please support the stream in some way, whether that means giving it a like, whether that means, interacting with me and tossing some questions my way, whether that means a sub on Kick, some kicks on Kick, whether that means a super chat or a membership on YouTube or maybe a tip. Everything appreciated. It would be great to still have a decent night, even though this happened, but it is what it is. If it ends up being a dud of a night, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. The game messed up and was just becoming unplayable, and there's nothing you can do. I have an audience. I want to make progress in the game, not just sit here. It was a half an hour waste, okay? Okay. So thanks in advance, and to anyone who supports the stream tonight, okay? Notably, we have no subs whatsoever on Kick today. Every sub was from a troll. So it would be great if we could actually get some legit subs on Kick, considering that all we have are troll subs tonight. Sending some real subs would be a nice way to support the stream. Okay. So, this person says, good evening. We're chilling, so I have a longer question. Imagine that God asks you to choose 5 games to remember you by. Your son will play them, but you will die before he ever gets to meet you. What games would you ask your son to play and remember you by? Oh, this is name is Homie. First off, I think this is a ridiculous question because you're putting such weight on games. Like, I never designed a game, therefore I don't necessarily think that a game that someone plays is to remember me by. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's such a ridiculous premise. I don't think that God would ask you to pick games to give to your offspring. It's just a ludicrous situation. What you're asking really is, what are your 5 favorite games? Because you think those would be representative of who you are. Okay? I can't answer overall, but I would think, like, what are my favorite genres and what are my favorite games of each genre? For fighting games, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. For platformers, Super Mario World. For RPGs, it's a really tough call because I think that Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, and arguably Earthbound are probably my 3 favorites of all time, and I've never really chosen between those 3 to say which is the best. So probably one of those 3. If I just had to give a quick answer, it would be Final Fantasy VI. But I don't know necessarily if I thought about it hard enough. Maybe I would think Chrono Trigger is a better experience. I don't know. I guess I would have to think about that. For first-person shooters, I would probably say... That's a tough call because I would say Modern Warfare was the beginning of first-person shooters actually, like, becoming cinematic events, but also becoming addictive multiplayer experiences. Before that, like, the older Call of Duty games were more like online multiplayer of World War II, and they were very addictive and fun, but they never really blew up until Modern Warfare. It would probably be either Modern Warfare or Call of Duty 2. Likely Modern Warfare 1, though. Alright? And then last, I mean, what I'd really have to do is think hard, like, what are my favorite genres outside of that? Probably survival horror, and I'd probably go with the first survival horror game I ever played, Resident Evil 1. So those are the 5 games. That's a very fast answer, because I could probably sit here for 2 hours to answer this question, but I'd rather talk with the rest of my audience too. But that's probably what I would say. So, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Mario World, Final Fantasy VI, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Resident Evil 1. There you go. Okay. Nicely done. Can we do DSP tries at Papa Murphy's? I don't really want to. Like, I could, but why would I ever want to do that? Seriously. And by the way, I'm just curious, what do they charge you through a delivery app for Papa Murphy's? This is pretty funny. I wonder if they even do it. Oh, they don't do it. Oh, wait. Maybe they do. They do. They are clear to say at Papa Murphy's, baking required. So at least they say that. Yeah, look at this. They have stuffed pizza. They have stuffed pizza. Oh my God. It's $23 for a 14-inch stuffed pizza. So here's what they describe it as. This is the Chicago style. 2 layers of original crust stuffed with salami, pepperoni, sausage, ground beef, mixed onion, whole milk mozzarella, and traditional red sauce, topped with green onion, Roma tomato, mozzarella cheddar, and red sauce. $23. What on earth? $2.20, I'm just going to say this once and make it abundantly clear. If you support the stream, you do. If you don't, you don't. If you make demands to try to get support out of me, I'm just going to reban you again. So if you say, oh, I'm going to give you a certain amount of subs, if you just play this game right now, I'm just going to ban you immediately, and I'm never going to speak to you again. If I see another clone account of yours in here, I'm going to ban it again. It's time to stop with your nonsense, all right? Like, you don't own the streams. You never did. You never will. Doesn't matter how important you think you are because you throw subs my way. You're just going to get rebanned right now. So either act like a fucking normal human or get banned immediately and go away forever. Which is it going to be? You can make your decision now. The cowboy pizzas. This is not stuff, okay? This is way over expensive. This is insanity. The cheapest pizza they offer for a specialty pizza is over $20 at Papa Murphy's. I'm not kidding. So you guys who are saying Papa Murphy's is cheap, it's not cheap. A medium pizza is $20 at Papa Murphy's. I'm not kidding. Like, here's Papa's favorite. It's $17.49 for the crustless medium. No crust. To order the crust, it's $5 extra. To order the large, it's $6 extra. Thin crust is $4 extra. $7 extra. Yeah. Why is the AI mod quieting everyone in chat? What happened here? What is this AI mod? What's going on? I didn't turn on the AI mod, so who just did? Yeah, what is the AI mod? I'm trying to see when it started. I have no idea when it started. I'm looking. Did it stop now? I guess it stopped now. I don't know what happened. That's bizarre. The AI went crazy and started like blocking everything. Because the AI mod is always on, but all the AI mod is supposed to do is block like bad words and stuff like that on Kick. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. See, now it's not doing it anymore. That's really bizarre. But anyway, no, like, Papa Murphy's is not cheap. Just, this is the Papa's favorite, which is pepperoni, sausage, ground beef, mushroom, mixed onion, green pepper, black olive, cheddar, whole milk mozzarella, and red sauce. So it's like a Supreme. There's Supreme Pizza. The cheapest one is over $20, and that's the medium. So Papa Murphy, whoever said, oh, Papa Murphy's is cheap, it's not cheap at all. It's actually expensive. Their pizza is ridiculously expensive. Like, let's say I wanted to try 2 kinds of pizza at Papa Murphy's, I'd end up spending $50. Yeah, this is insane. Like, why the hell would I ever order from them? What's that? I must address that they also offer cooked pizza. No, they don't. Every single item on here says baking required. They don't. At least not to order. Everything you order is, every literally thing that you order says right on it that, you have to bake it yourself. These prices are exorbitant. Yeah, this is ridiculously overpriced pizza for what it is. To have to bake it yourself, and you're paying over $20 for a medium? That's ludicrous. To be honest, I'm looking at the pictures. They look like frozen pizza. I'm serious. Now, maybe the pictures just suck, but it looks like frozen pizza to me. Yeah. So, I don't think I'm getting Papa Murphy's. Yeah, my apologies to the kick chatters. I have absolutely no clue why the AI mod went crazy and moderated everybody. I didn't even touch anything, but now it's not doing it anymore. Something went wrong there. Okay. Anyways, what do you guys want to chat about now? We still have over half an hour left on stream with this Chill with Phil impromptu session. Again, if you're having a good time here tonight chilling with me, please like the stream. The engagement is critical. If you're watching on demand, please like the video and leave comments and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, if you like this content. If you could support the stream tonight in some way, if you're here live, please do. I get the feeling this is going to be probably my deadest stream for support in a long time because the game fizzled out. It doesn't work. I don't know what else to say. They soft locked me with an unsolvable puzzle. It sucks. I did my best to solve it. I tried it every single combination. It still didn't work. It sucks. I know people were here to see the game, and now, you know, in truth, there's more people here now than there were for the game, but the people that were here for the game probably left, you know? I've never had the Panera Bread chicken salad. You're saying it's good, King Michael? Routine. We were playing routine, and we got to a puzzle, and we had to go to 4 areas to look at symbols and figure out what numbers the symbols corresponded to, and then the puzzle had a grid, and it says left to right, okay? So I put the code in left to right. Doesn't work. Now, when they say left to right, do they mean left to right going down each line? Do they mean left to right just actually going from column left to the right? Do they mean on that side of the paper? Do they mean if you flip the paper where the numbers coincide with the symbols, that's left to right? Or do they mean left to right, top to bottom, left to right, column-wise? Do they mean that the number corresponds to the symbol on one side of the paper or it locks to the piece on the other side of the paper? It's just a mess. Like, I'm not even kidding. The way they wrote it, because it's so cryptic, there's probably like 100 possibilities of solution. So the puzzle is very poorly designed. We sat here for over 30 minutes plugging in solutions. None of them worked. And the puzzle is randomly generated, meaning you can't look up a guide online to figure out the solution to the puzzle. It changes for every person. So literally, there was no way to solve the puzzle without sitting here for another hour trial and error. And I said, I'm not wasting the stream's time. And I quit. And in truth, it wasn't a big playthrough. It wasn't super exciting. It was okay. It was something for variety. But when they're going to waste my time like that with a badly designed puzzle, I got to tap out and say, well, let's just do something else. So it sucks because I was liking the game. The lore of the game is good. And the level design and the atmosphere is good. The puzzle's ass. The puzzle is so bad. So... all right, Matamoose11 just did our first actual legit gifted subscription of the week. Thank you so much, Matt. Well, of the night, I should say. We did have some earlier today, I believe. Maybe like 1. So thank you, Matamoose, for the gifted sub tonight. I appreciate that. And Steven just gifted a membership to the community on YouTube. Thank you to Steven for our first membership. I appreciate that. So now we are up to 61 of support. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And again, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make lemonade out of lemons. You know, it is what it is. I had a feeling of all the games that I was bringing back this week, you know, Pokemon, Routine, and Expedition 33, all 3 of which I hadn't played for a couple weeks. I had a feeling Routine was the one that was going to flop. And I guess my prediction was correct. Jade, you have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Did I play a chill game while we talk? No, I'm out of here within like 30, 40 minutes. So no, I'm not playing a game. Have a good night, Vietnamese comrade. Leaf Sim 2. Imagine if they come out with one. That'd be pretty cool. Leaf Sim was good. What was it called? Leaf It Alone? Yeah. Leaf It Alone. Oh, that's right, Jade. We're doing Expedition 33 and we're doing Mega Bonk, so I probably won't see you tomorrow, right? You come back on, well, on Monday, we are doing, more of Tainted Grail, and we are doing Power Wash Simulator 2. So maybe I'll see you for Power Wash then Monday night, Jade, right? This piano riff reminds me of a pop song. Do 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 do. There's a song out that sounds just like this. Shocks, how you doing, man? $10? Did you ever play Mad Max? I started. It's decent. Yes, I played Mad Max. I did a full playthrough of it when it was brand new. The thing is, it came out the same day as a huge game. I can't remember which one it was. So it got completely overlooked. To be frank, it's not a bad game. It's not a good game. It's okay. It's an okay game. I did play it through and enjoyed it. But I think more people would have enjoyed it if if it had coincided with the release of the movie, which it didn't at the time. And if it had not had massive competition with other games coming out the same day. Let's see what game it was. September 1st, 2015. Wasn't it Metal Gear Solid 5? Yep. Metal Gear Solid 5 came out the same day as Mad Max, and that's why no one played it. That's what it was. Yep. 100%. There you go. What I liked about it was the exploration of the bases and the combat was decent. The driving was okay. I think the driving was decently executed, but wasn't my favorite part. It was just all right. But overall, I felt that there was a addicting gameplay loop, and it allowed me to keep playing it and enjoy it. Like, I did overall enjoy my time with the game. I have no idea what you're saying, T5716, but I don't believe you. No one says, oh, I was in Kick Chat and I got banned, but I was going to drop 50 subs. No one says that. That's a complete lie. If you were going to support, you already would have supported. No one is going to get banned and then be like, oh, I was actually going to support in a moment. Because you got banned for a reason. No one, let me give you a little perspective here. There's no one who sits on my stream chats and just clicks randomly banning people. Like, that doesn't happen. They'll go, I'm in the mood to ban someone. Here we go. Oh, this person right here, done. Okay. That doesn't happen. People get banned because they're acting up. They're either insulting others. They're breaking the rules blatantly. That's why you get moderated. That's the only reason. There might be a rare misclick, but that's about it, okay? Now, there was an AI moderator that was going crazy, but I don't think the AI moderator banned anyone. All the AI moderator did was deleted a bunch of comments. So, you should not have been banned for absolutely no reason. No one does that, okay? Oh my goodness, you 100%ed Red Dead 2? Oh, yeah, he says it took us 279 hours. Oh, I like the story of Red Dead 2, but I didn't like the gameplay loop, so I never played it past the main story. I mean, the main story was like 50 hours long, but I can understand if you get immersed in that world or whatever, and you want it to be one of your big, achievements under your belt that you mastered the game. I could see that, but not for me, that's for sure. Oh, there you go. The guy was talking about my mother in chat. It doesn't even matter. Like, if you're bringing up my mom's name in chat, and you're invoking my mother, you're going to get banned. At what point ever did I sit here in chat and start talking about my mom's real name and things? Never. So the moment you do that, I'm going to instant ban you, and I'm going to laugh about it, too. I'm going to glow. I'm going to dance. I'm actually going to get up and do a little jig like this. I'm going to be like... We're going to call this the ban dance from now on. Ready? It's like one of those Irish jigs. Everyone, come on, get up and do the band dance with me. Okay, very nice. I received a $10 tip. What movies did you watch this holiday season? I watched Harry Potter and Mad Men. Wow, they were very festive movies you watched, huh?
Humbug.
Thank you for $10. I watched 3 Christmas-themed movies this week. I watched first Scrooged, which is the late 1980s version of A Christmas Carol starring Bill Murray as a television executive who's visited by 3 ghosts. Technically, it's 4 ghosts, actually, when you think about it. And then I watched with my wife Jingle All the Way, and I watched A Christmas Story. So those are the Christmas-themed things that I watched, like, the day before or into Christmas. So there you go. Alrighty. Wow. I received a generous contribution of $30 from Darren. Let's play the animation for the tip first, and then we'll see what Darren has to say. Thank you, Darren.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
No! Thank you so much, Darren, for $30. That's actually the biggest contribution of the night, isn't it? Thank you, Darren. So Darren says, happy holidays, man. I'm enjoying the chat about older games. Question, what's the history behind the cute stuffed dog you put up during the holidays behind me? Years and years ago, I actually started annually doing a Christmas marathon in 2017, because I looked this up the other day. And this is now year 8, because 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, this year was actually the 9th straight year that I've done a Christmas marathon, okay? So during those early years, when I was looking to do backdrops and setups for the Christmas marathon, my wife and I went out to stores to find Christmas merchandise to kind of put behind me. And she found this guy. His name is Cookie. And he's a dog. He's a Christmas pooch. We're not sure what breed he's supposed to be. And he's cool when the batteries work, because they don't anymore. And you press the button, he walks and he goes bark, 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 bark. It's pretty cute. And he like walks in place like this. So we've had him for probably 7-8 years. I think it was either the first or second year that I did the Christmas marathon that we got him and started putting him in the background. I mean, he was here as early as when I used to have the love seat. And then, then we had the setup with the things behind me over the years. So, yeah. So good stuff. And thanks for asking. But that was my wife who picked out Cookie, and that's why I always have Cookie in the background every year. Well, it's some epic music to answer that question, isn't it? Some pretty good music. Here, in fact, let's feel the positivity of the holiday season, everyone. Ah, la 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 la, oh la 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 la, ah la 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 la. Very nice. What am I using for the music? It is Roland's music library. It's through the Bridgecast. So the Bridgecast is the name of the device I use. It's the audio interface device. And through the Bridgecast, built into the Bridgecast, is this audio library you subscribe to. And I'm literally playing this through the Bridgecast into my PC as an audio source. Pretty cool that it does that. I don't even need to have like a website open or anything. It's just through the hardware, it puts the music into my system. So that way, see, that's one of the really cool things about this Bridgecast. All the effects and things it does are through the hardware, not through any software. So it uses 0 CPU use for me. It's all done through this guy. So that's why I really like the Bridgecast. I could do all the voice changing, all the, the effects on my microphone, the headphone surround sound. It's all done through there, not through my PC. Pretty damn cool. Max Power, yes. During the marathon recently, we played E.T. the Extraterrestrial the entirety of the game. That was the worst games ever marathon. When was that? September? I think that was September. And we beat it in like half an hour. And that was done right through a browser. They actually have browsers right now that on the internet emulate the entire game. And I played it right through the browser. You can find it for yourself. Eyes burning right now. Annoying. My eye is burning. I need Gunner glasses. My eyes are burning. I invoke the assistance of the Gunner glasses. My first usage of the glasses to prevent my eye strain and burning. There we are. It is official.
Store wouldn't take your stolen credit card.
Thank you, Tim. One of the final times these Christmas animations will be around until either December 31st in a few days or January 1st at the latest. So enjoy the Christmas animations now while we have them. They'll be going back to being more generic animations in a few days. Okay? Jim Jam with a $5 super chat asks, while traveling during your tournament play era, did you see a lot of the U.S.? Was any of that travel outside of the U.S.? So during my competitive days as a Street Fighter tournament player, I traveled all up and down the East Coast of the United States. I think as northernmost, I think. So let me think about this. I went to Rhode Island. I went to New Hampshire. I went to Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey. I lived in Connecticut. Okay. I went further south. So I think the furthest I ever went down south driving was like Virginia, in that direction. But I've also flown to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, to participate in a Street Fighter tournaments. I don't think I ever went to Florida. I think I almost did, but didn't. I went to Atlanta, Georgia for final round several times. That was fun. Going further south, I actually went all the way down to Texas. So I went to Texas Showdown a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, actually. And that was fun. Texas Showdown was always a great tournament, and the people there are outstanding, by the way. I just recommend. Texas people were always very accommodating and nice people to me. So that's kind of East Coast-ish down to the south. Heading further north, I went to Chicago, Illinois several times for the Midwest Championships tournament series. And then I went to California twice. Yes. First, I went to California in order to participate in B5. Before EVO existed, there was a tournament called the B Series that was run by the same exact people, the Cannon brothers and that group of West Coast players. And I went to the B Series B5. That was the last one ever. And then after that, they turned it into EVO, and I attended the very first ever EVO in California. Okay, and then I went to Las Vegas, Nevada many times to attend EVO when they moved it from California to Las Vegas. I think 3 to 4 times I went to Vegas for that, if I remember correctly. So that's pretty much the extent of where I traveled in the United States to play Street Fighter. I never made it international. There was a couple times when I was offered to go to either a Canadian tournament, or if I had won that qualifier that I talked about that I went to Tennessee to go to, I would have qualified to go to Super Battle Opera, which is an invitational tournament in Japan. But I never made it to Canada. That would have been on my own dime, and I never did that. And as for Japan, I didn't win. I lost that year to a bunch of people, and did not qualify to go to Japan, so never made it there either. So, but I've been to a lot of places in the United States to play Street Fighter, that's for sure. In truth, I probably went to more and have forgotten, because it was a era of my life in the 2000s there, a good 7-year span where I was constantly traveling to play Street Fighter. What's today's workout? Today's workout is legs, so squats, and I forget what it's called, military press. Yes, that's your shoulders. And I always forget the name of this exercise. It's the one where you stand with the dumbbells on your sides like this, and you extend your arms out as high as you can to your sides. So that one, I always forget the name of that one, and push-ups. That's my exercises for today. You didn't know about my competitive Street Fighter days? Oh yeah, it was a long stretch there that I was playing competitive Street Fighter, like a very long time. Like I started in the late 90s. I started regularly traveling around the year 2000, and every year I was going to at least the East Coast Championships, tournaments in New York and New Jersey all the time. Then I started traveling to EVO regularly. That was like the big trip that I went on every year. And then I started going to even more big regionals and things like New Jersey. There was an arcade in Rhode Island I started traveling to. And then I started driving all the way down south. So a lot of stuff. Clearly not. Jamie says, did you ever vlog any of the trips, or were they cons? I remember specifically a video where you ended up in Delaware. Well, first of all, most of my competitive Street Fighter days were before I was a YouTuber. When I became a YouTuber, already I had retired. I retired in 2007, and I have not seriously tried to regularly participate in any Street Fighter tournament circuit since then. Like, there was a resurgence when I started on YouTube because Street Fighter 4 came out. All of a sudden, there was giant mainstream attention on Street Fighter again, and therefore people wanted Street Fighter coverage. So I started playing like Super Turbo, but it was like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, the new one for consoles. And did I travel and play in tournaments? Yes. At that time, was I trying to play it full time and aspire to be a tournament player who would win tournaments? No. I liked playing. Like, that was Dom Dai. Dom Dai was the guy who was always super good at the old school games. He played the shit out of them. I didn't. I was a variety creator for YouTube, so I never sunk the time in to get good enough to really do that stuff, you see. But yeah, Delaware, that was myself and Rambo, and it was him and me once, and I believe it was him, me, and his friend OJ, who another time where we made wrong turns and just kept ending up in Delaware because there's a weird, confusing highway like exit to do in that area. And if you take the wrong exit, you just end up in Delaware. Like, there's no way to stop. You have to drive to Delaware and then turn around once you're in Delaware. And we ended up doing that twice. It was so frustrating. That's the old vlogging that you're talking about. But the actual times when I was really good at competitive Street Fighter, no one vlogged. There was no YouTube to upload to. There was no streaming. So no one vlogged anything. None of it was ever recorded. It's very, very rare where you'll see a video from like 2005 or 6 or 7 when I was dominating the East Coast tournament scene in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. No one really recorded any of it. There's maybe a small handful of matches you can find right now. I received a $20 tip. Thank you so much. Let's see who this is from. So this person says, my favorite game of all time is Batman Arkham Asylum, and it's the first playthrough of yours I ever saw. Have you ever thought about revisiting some games? And if so, which games would you like to replay with your true and oldest fans? Forget about what kind of viewership you would get. I've already replayed most of them. Like, if you really think about it, I played Mass Effect, I replayed Mass Effect, then I replayed Mass Effect again when the Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy came out. I've already replayed Arkham Asylum in HD. Great visual quality and everything. Most of the classic playthroughs that people think of, that they think, oh, Darkside Phil's, original awesome playthroughs, I've already replayed the games. Heavy Rain, I've replayed, I think, twice at this point. If ever there were playthroughs that you guys could think of and you'd be like, oh, definitely that's when I would like to see Phil play again, I'd be all ears. But at this point, I think most of them have been done. You know the ones that haven't been done? The games that were forgotten. Like, I mention this all the time when people ask me the question, what game would I like to be remastered for a modern audience? Infamous. Infamous 1 and 2 and the Festival of Blood DLC where you got turned into a vampire. I think those are outstanding games. They never redid them. Ever. They never re-released them. You can't buy them right now unless you have a PS3. The only way to do it is if you get the PlayStation Plus Platinum subscription. You can cloud stream, I think, Infamous 2. And even then, it's not perfect. There's some lag and it's pixelated a bit. It's playable, though. But it's just bizarre to me that they forgot all about the Infamous franchise because Second Son didn't sell as well as they wanted. And they just dropped the whole thing and they act like it never existed. When at one point, Infamous was like, seriously, just in line with major game franchises. And even, for example, like they thought that he was like one of the, Cole McGrath, the main character, was like one of the main Sony representatives. I mean, he was on all the marketing for PlayStation 3 and everything. It's just so weird to me that they just like dropped him and forgot all about him. But to be honest, if you really think back to all of those playthroughs, like Skyrim, right? Already replayed it and did all the DLCs, right? I would love your feedback. Like, what were some of the oldest playthroughs that I've done from back in the day that you guys may like to see me redo one day? Because you got to understand, now with this gaming PC, I have access to a lot. I have access to, these games that have been re-released for PC, or we could get older versions and then mod them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be wondering, what would you like? I mean, I just recently replayed GTA 4 with mods and turned it into a more modernized, amazing looking game for the playthrough. I thought that was very entertaining, right? So, honestly, I think that would be more of a question for you guys than for me. Like, what games from my past do you think are classic Darkside Phil playthroughs that maybe I never got around to redoing? I would consider them. I mean, I know he's saying with this tip, he's saying, well, regardless of viewership. Viewership doesn't really matter. It's about entertainment factor. If enough people show up and engage and support, it doesn't matter if I have 10 viewers, 100 viewers, 1,000 viewers, it doesn't. Paseo says, Resistance or Star Wars Force Unleashed 1 or 2? Star Wars is doable, I believe, because I think those did get ported and you could play them on PC. But Resistance? That's another forgotten franchise. How many did they have? 2? Resistance 1 and 2. Was there Resistance 3? but they're just like, they're missing. They just dropped. That whole PS3 era, Little Big Planet, Infamous, Resistance, Killzone, it's like it never existed. Like Sony just like swept them all under the rug and never wants to deal with them ever again. It's so weird to me. Darren is saying he sent a tip and forgot to put his name on it. Okay, so this is you. All right, so Darren sent a $35 tip. Thank you so much, Darren. It's time for this animation again.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
So thank you, Darren. That means you're now the top tipper of the night. And actually, I didn't add the 20 from before, did I? Or did I? No, there was a $20 tip I didn't add. That was the one right before the question I was answering. Yep. So, okay. So thank you, Darren, for $35. And he says, so it's Cookie the Christmas Pooch. That's correct. Cookie the Christmas Pooch. Very nice. Fun fact, the often considered Christmas movie Die Hard is actually called Hard Die when they play it on TV in some South American countries. I visited Colombia years ago, and I thought that was pretty funny. I would assume that's probably a translation thing, right? Like they're translating it, and in their language, maybe... See, wasn't it called Die Hard in the United States because Die Hard was the brand of battery? And so what they were trying to say was John McClane is like a die-hard battery. Like, he just keeps going. He won't ever give up. Despite the fact that he's taking a licking, he keeps fighting. So I think that's why they called it Die Hard. But if you're in a place where that doesn't translate, like, what if you don't even know what a die-hard battery is, right? In some languages, you have to put the adjective before the noun. So, or in this case, would that be what, an adverb before the verb? So, hard dying, right? Hard dying instead of dying hard. They were like, what does that mean? Hard. That's true. And in reality, neither translation actually is correct. It actually should be Hard to Die. That's right. The actual movie name should be Hard to Die or Tough to Kill, which probably is a movie. That's probably like a Steven Seagal movie. That sounds like a Steven Seagal movie. Tough to Kill. Is it? I bet it is. Could I replay BioShock on PC? I'm sure I could. I'm sure they eventually ported it to PC, right? Because they did remaster it, so they probably ported the remaster collection to PC at some point. It is. Hard to Kill actually is a Steven Seagal movie, I'm being told. Oh. I actually didn't know that, but I said it sounds like one. Well, there you go. 220 did 500 kicks. Says, sorry about earlier. I definitely don't want to control anything, but I want to offer an alternative to the broken game. Glasses look great, by the way. You know I'm not going to play it. Dude, just stop. Stop trying to justify or anything. I understand. Sometimes you get out of control and you want to, like, control things. You're never going to control my content. You just have to understand that. Like, every time you do it, you just sound obnoxious. You know I'm not that kind of dude. Of all the people out there who would do it, you know I'm not going to do it. So there's no point. If you want to support the stream, please do, but don't demand things. Thanks for 500 kicks. Okay. Okay, let's see. Hard to Kill is when Steven is in a coma. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that one. Steven Seagal in a coma? I actually don't think I've ever seen that movie. When's the last time I played BioShock? The remaster collection. Because there was BioShock 1, which I did a playthrough of. BioShock 2, which I did a playthrough of when it was new. BioShock Infinite, which I did a playthrough of when it was new. And then when the BioShock Trilogy Remastered Collection came out, I replayed 1, right? It wasn't the trilogy, was it? It was just 1 and 2. I think it was just 1 and 2. I replayed 1. And that was it. I have, since then, whenever that was, which was many years ago, I never replayed 1 again. I never replayed 2 ever. And I never replayed Infinite. I've only played Infinite once. And I also played the expansion DLC for Infinite once. So, what happened to Judas, the game the BioShock creators are working on? Supposedly it's still under development, right? It's still being made, but hasn't come out yet. And I don't think it has any release date information yet. Nope. Would I ever go back and play Fable 2 if people wanted it? Fable 2 was one of my very earliest playthroughs, and if I remember correctly, I didn't do a full playthrough of it. I did video highlights of it. I did play Oblivion Remastered much earlier this year, and it's a good game, but I'd already played it. Like, I already played Oblivion the year before, so for me to play it again only a year later, I basically played through the main story until near the end, and I was like, all right, we know what the game is, you know, we're done. I'm not going to sit here and do all the content again. Yes, I played Metal Slug in arcades. Metal Slug was very popular in arcades back in the day. Very popular side-scrolling shooter, where at first, it was just supposed to be a couple of mercs against, like, Nazis, who were, I guess what the plot was that the Nazis were coming back. Like, the Nazis were defeated in World War II, but somehow they were coming back to, like, modern times. So you had to fight off an entire army of Nazis and, like, an undead version of Hitler at the end, if I remember correctly. But then, after that, it became aliens. Like, the whole plot changed, and it became you were fighting aliens and stuff. And then since then, like, for, like, 4 more games, it was always fighting aliens, which was pretty insane. I'm being recommended Terminator 2D No Fate as a playthrough coming up. I guess we'll see. I'm not against it. Right now, this week, we're jam-packed. For example, we've got Expedition 33, Megabonk, Tainted Grail, Arc Raiders, Power Wash Simulator 2, and more Pokemon all coming this week. So I'd like to really focus on that stuff this week to get as far as we can. Like, obviously, a game like Power Wash, we're in no rush. Megabonk, there's really no end, right? But I want to play a lot more. Like, I want to do 2 streams of Tainted Grail this week to see if I really like it before I start working on my year-end series. Expedition 33, obviously, I'd like to make good progress in this week. So there's games I want to make good progress in. We're actually nearing the end of the Pokemon DLC. We actually unlocked the 4th of 5 story chapters. So we're getting there. Like, another few streams, we may finish it, and then we're done with Pokemon finally. So we're working on stuff. The next major game coming up on January 9th is that Code Violet, I think it's called. It's the spiritual successor to Dino Crisis, and that's a new one on PlayStation. I'm interested in that. So right now, we're not looking for a game to fill a gap, but I'd be down to play it, this Terminator 2D game, eventually. If people still want it, we can play it in January, I think. Okay? What? So, I got a 420 tip. Hold on. This person says, Judas is by the company that fired the developers of BioShock 2 for ChatGPT. That's nothing. I guess I don't know the lore of that one. That one I never heard of. Thank you for the tip, though. I guess I'm not privy to everything. To all these insider stories in the industry, huh? Did I see Terminator Dark Fate? Oh, I don't remember. They're all so confusing now. I don't know which Terminator movie is which anymore. Which one is Dark Fate? I probably saw most of them. I don't think I saw the last one. Was the whatever one had Linda Hamilton return? I didn't see that one. If that was the last one, then no, I didn't see it. Will I play the new Star Wars Old Republic game? Sure, why not? Sounds like fun. It probably won't come out for 5 years, but I'm down to check it out. I don't know what you mean. Please play Hunt Showdown. What is Hunt Showdown? Never heard of it. Toasty Chestnuts, please stop asking stupid questions. Thank you. Paseo says, if you did want to play the old games we mentioned, are they available for PC or would you find a workaround? Oh, I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. I would be down to play them if they're available on PC. Or if they're, like, I have a PS5 Pro, if they're available on there. Keep in mind, on PC with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, tons of games are on Game Pass from over there. Like BioShock? Like you said BioShock, right? Here. Hold on. Game Pass. BioShock. No results found. So apparently BioShock is not on Game Pass anymore. I'm almost positive it was at one point, but I guess not anymore. Let's just look at all games then. Let's not just look at Game Pass, but let's look at just in general BioShock. It's not, okay, it's not on the Xbox app anymore. BioShock Infinite, BioShock 1 and BioShock 2 are all on Steam, and BioShock Remastered is on Steam. The original BioShock was from 2007. That one's actually on there. Oh, they got a promotion going for $5. You get original BioShock and BioShock Remastered. Remastered came out in 2016. So there you go. Yeah, it's available. It's just on Steam for a few bucks. It's pretty cheap. It's like $5. You would hope that BioShock 2 now would actually run well. Like when I played it, it was a buggy mess that crashed the Xbox 360 constantly, and I ended up losing tons of gameplay because of it. Like it wouldn't autosave either. You would think it would run good on PC now. Plus, I'd have a nice quick save button I'd be mashing to make sure I don't lose progress this time. Okay. Last few minutes of the stream, everyone. I just want to say thank you. This has been a great chill session where we hung out and talked. Seriously. I always love doing this because whenever we're hanging out, we have a good time with conversation, do we not? And so on a night like tonight where sadly things went wrong with routine, which isn't a huge deal. It's not a giant game people were loving anyway. We still have a good time together, and thank you so much for the support tonight. I love the fact that you guys like hanging out with me so much that we still have a good night together. Really, you're awesome. Thank you guys so much. Now, this is epic. Epic music on a lovely December night. When the game didn't go right, we still chilled with Phil here on DSPGaming. Oh, what a night. Oh, yeah, baby. Amazing. And now you can hear me without any filters. Ready?
Oh, what a night. Here on DSP Gaming. You chilled with me. Thank you so very. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Okay. Sorry. I meant turn the filters off now, is what I meant to say. There we go. Do I remember last year's birthday marathon? No, not really. Whoa, thank you to Yura. This is Yura Gabe Owner, a $20 Canadian super chat. $14.62. Merry Christmas, Phil. Keep pushing and give Hunt Showdown a try at some point. Thank you for the support and the suggestion. I'll have to look into it. I'm not aware of that one. I wouldn't know anything about that, DB Croy. Literally, I said this during the Christmas marathon. I don't know anything about that guy. I don't want to know anything about that guy. I seriously, like, it seems like that was a whole thing that was concocted on the side that has nothing to do with me. I don't involve myself in this nonsense. As you know, I always say this. I'm at the eye of the hurricane. All this crap blows around me like this, and I'm best to stay out of it, especially when I have no clue what's going on. I have no involvement in it. You know, people try to pull me into that crap all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to know. All right? Boombox, thank you for $2 to sing with Phil. Yeah, we could do a singing night. I think I finally have a good microphone and equipment to do it, but tonight we're out of time. Zixto, 34 months as a member, says, why did you quit Mario Galaxy 2? I really didn't. We were at the end. Like, that stage that I was on was post-game content, and if I beat it, literally all that would have happened was it unlocks the green stars that I wasn't going to do anyway. Like, I had zero intention of going back and getting another 120 stars. That stage already wasted 30 minutes of my time. In reality, why did I quit? Because the controls don't work. The controls do not work in that game. You continuously try to run on like a small planet, and your character starts running in a circle when you're holding right. Like, I'm just holding the thumbstick. Why is my character running in a circle? And I died like 10 times. I just couldn't, I wasn't going to beat the stage because the controls don't work on that version of the game. I don't know if they work in the original because I never played the original, but I'm not wasting my time on that anymore. I got better things to do than waste my time with busted games, man. Yeah, I beat the main ending. We already beat the main ending. Yeah, that was the post-game content. That was the secret world and the secret challenge run, and then that unlocks the green star secret challenge. You know, that was all post-game content. The credits already rolled. I don't even know what that means. Gary says the stream has showed up on YouTube featured. What on earth is YouTube featured? I don't even know what that is. It surely didn't impact the viewership because we had around 200 viewers all night. So, someone was asking why I stopped the React content because no one liked it anymore. I did it for 2 years. The first 6 months went incredibly well. We had tons of people who would support the streams and sign up so that they could submit clips and all kinds of engagement. By the end of year 1, it was doing okay, but wasn't nearly as popular. In year 2, it struggled. It was hard to get people to show up and support the stream, to actually submit clips. Like, we had the same 20 people every week submitting clips, so it was the same things every week. It was a video about Singapore, a video about, what's his name, Meat Canyon, making one of his animations, something about this person. And it was the same shit every week, to the point where people just got tired and didn't care about the show anymore. So after 2 years, I retired it. Oh, yeah, I don't know anything about this new YouTube featured thing. First I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but then again, I don't really use YouTube that much. I do watch videos on YouTube under my YouTube Premium account, but I don't know how it works. So, all right, absolute last chance because I got to get out of here. This has been a great chill session, but I do need to retire for the evening so that I can upload and get set up for tomorrow. And tomorrow's an awesome day. I'll talk about it after I stop recording. It's going to be a great day of content. That's right. We learned so much about Singapore together, Super Bon Chan. You're right. We really did. No, I'm not watching the World Cup. I have no interest. Is this sweater comfortable? It's not a sweater. It's a hoodie. You know, I'm shocked no one actually asked me about this hoodie today. This is the first time I've ever worn it. Are you aware? Would you like... Okay, here's what... You want me to end with the story of this hoodie? Because this hoodie actually has a story behind it. First of all, let me ask you guys this. Do you like the hoodie? Let me show it to you again. Okay, and it's all the way around. On the back. Okay. And the hoodie itself is all the enemies from Space Invaders in the hoodie. So do you like it? Not really. Some people like it. Some people like, eh. So is there anyone out there who'd be interested in actually getting this hoodie? Like, do you like it? And they'll be like, yeah, this is a good hoodie. I'd like to get it, actually. That's pretty cool. Where did you get it from? Some people are like, no. And some people are like, maybe. I like it. All right. So here's how you get it. You can't. This hoodie is over 15 years old. This hoodie was an exclusive piece of merchandise available on thinkgeek.com when they were a newer website. It was actually just about when I was becoming a prominent YouTuber and starting to make money on the site that I bought this hoodie. I believe it was either 2010 or 2011 when I bought it, so 14, 15 years ago. And they had things like this all the time. They had these game tie-in merch things that were designed by designers and stuff. And this one actually was designed by, I guess it was a designer who made it, and you had to buy it through that website, thinkgeek.com. If you go to thinkgeek.com right now, you might notice it doesn't exist. It's because the business existed from, I'd say, like 2007-ish, probably through like 2012, 2013. And then at one point, GameStop bought them. And everyone was like, oh, this is good news. Now, this smaller business that sells video game, pop culture, geeky kind of merchandise will now get mainstream appeal. So GameStop purchased the company and then immediately laid off all the staff, liquidated the company, and put the merch in GameStop stores because GameStop wasn't selling games anymore. That's why they bought them. They wanted to literally liquidate the entire business. So hundreds of people lost their jobs because of GameStop. They stopped making their own merch. Like, ThinkGeek doesn't exist anymore. And you can't, they just stopped having product lines and everything. And completely destroyed the business from the ground up. So I have many pieces of merch that at the beginning of my YouTube days I bought that I really liked. And they were just destroyed. So you only could get this for like maybe a few months on ThinkGeek. It was retired. They never had it again. And then they never resold it. And now they're out of business. You can't get it. This hoodie sat in my closet since that time. Like, I don't know if I ever wore it. Did you guys ever see me wear this hoodie in a video? I don't recall. I've never worn it. And what it is, you know, recently I just started like looking around, and the other day it was very, very cold outside. So I was wearing my leather, like bomber jacket. And I just happened to start looking in the closet at some older things. And I was like, what's this? And I found this, and I actually found another jacket. I believe the other jacket, which I will be wearing soon, I already have worn before. So you might recognize that one when I wear it on stream. But this one, I don't think I've ever worn. And I looked at it, I was like, dude, this jacket looks nice. And especially now that I have a good camera where you can see the detail, like you can see all the Space Invaders and everything on the hoodie and the design, it actually pops. It looks really good in my opinion. Can I put the hood on? So you can see all the invaders inside. So what it's supposed to be, this is the turret at the bottom of the Space Invader screen. And essentially it's moving back and forth, shooting the invaders that are in the hood. That's what's supposed to be the design. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it's dope. It's a dope hoodie. And I can't believe I only just wore it now. So pretty cool. All right. Anyway, guys. So thank you for chilling. I hope that you guys enjoyed Chill with Phil tonight, impromptu session. I had a great time. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and thank you for the support. And I will see you soon for more. Peace out, everybody.